So yeah, it's about Robin.
Yeah, the main character is Robin. Okay.
Really? Oh my god.
You mentioned him 3 times already. Fuck.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Miguxas Podcast. My name is Trisha.
I'm Anna.
I'm Rina.
And today we're talking about the book Babel by R.F. Kuang.
First question, did it meet your expectations in general? Or surpassed? Or is it overrated, underrated?
I would say it met the expectations because I was waiting for something good. It's not overrated, in my opinion.
Properly rated?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Trisha?
I was disappointed a lot. I had very high expectations for this book. Probably because I have a background in translation. That was a big influence. And because so many people talked about it like a masterpiece and they based their whole personalities for a month on this aesthetic. But I was a bit disappointed. I think it's overrated.
I think
Why?
I know the part of the book where...
That you didn't like?
Yeah. When I read that part, which I think it was the part you disliked, I was like, oh no, Trisha's gonna hate this.
I have a lot of parts that I disliked.
I thought the same thing actually. And I actually also don't think I liked that part. Stay tuned to know which part we are talking about.
True. But so you agree with me? It's like...
Yes, for me it was a bit disappointing as well. Okay, I also have a background in translation and like the first 40-50% of the book were very interesting for me. And then it slowly declined. So for me, I think it's a bit overrated because it didn't meet my expectations.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Same.
So overrated for you, properly rated for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then let's talk about the book. Okay, so for the first part of the book, I would divide the book in 3 parts. I would say the first part is like languages and translation. The second part is the...
Hermes Society. Involvement political,
exactly.
social stances, let's say like that.
Yeah, and then the other, it would be like friendship.
Oh.
I was gonna say war.
Yeah, revolution.
Could be, yeah, but that's also within the Hermes.
Okay.
But sure, we can say war.
So like the 3 points of this book
Yeah.
are translation, colonialism, and revolt, and friendship. I
Yeah.
don't know.
In my views, yes.
So, inequality,
Yes.
academia, friendship.
Yeah.
And fantasy, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yes, for sure.
I hated Professor Lovell
Oval.
since the beginning.
Oh yeah, his bad
His
person.
attitude, yeah.
Oh my
For
god.
sure.
When he hit him that time where he was reading a book, that scene really, I don't know, not shocked me, but
Pissed you
I
off.
was so mad.
I thought he was gonna be like happy that he was reading and happy reading, and then
No, because he doesn't want him to be happy. He just wants to be a machine that spells out languages and works for him.
Yeah. The child is slacking off and is lazy, but
Yeah.
he is just telling other people to do things for him. Who is lazy?
Yeah. And he's like, Chinamen are known for being lazy. Dude. Look at yourself. You don't even go visit your family. What?
Yes.
Anyway.
And I would like to know more about his background. Like, why is he so bitter? Why is he so hungry for power? Because that was not very well explained. Because he was not a man of many words. He was not very emotional.
but he surprised me though a bit by the end.
How so?
When he said, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that I wasn't more... I don't know
Yeah.
what he said.
Yeah. He surprised me there. Actually apologized and said that he should be more loving. So that surprised me. Didn't make me like him, but it surprised me.
Yeah. I didn't see that as he really meant it, though. I saw that as a kind of manipulation because
Okay.
Robin was already acting out, you
Yeah.
know? He was already pulling away from him into the Hermes Society, you know?
think
So
it was
I
like
saw that as...
emotional manipulation.
Yes. He was trying to make himself look human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for
Not a
Robin to
robot.
pity him. Yeah, exactly. And to be like, oh, maybe he's feeling regret. Maybe he's not that bad. And Hermes Society is actually not... you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially after what happened.
I wasn't sure if he meant it or not, to be
I
honest.
guess we'll never know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't know enough about his background, so I couldn't really know. It was very difficult for me to understand certain characters in a more deeper level because they were all very plain. They were very one-sided. Like each character represented something specific.
I just didn't feel a connection with the ones that stayed in the tower.
Ah, yeah. So random.
Mm.
Suddenly these people just don't get me started.
Well, this is for you to start.
No, but Lovell, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a bit like it was really easy to hate him. It was really easy to hate, what was her name? The white blonde girl with blue eyes. It was really easy to hate her.
From
The
her
friends.
Really?
From the friend group.
I didn't hate her in
Yes.
the beginning.
Oh, I hated her all the time.
Not hate her. I didn't like her.
She was superficial, but I didn't hate her.
No.
She was... No, but it's like everyone was so enlightened and she was always making those dumb mistakes because she was white. You know? She could never see through and she was always... They never really included her in the group. It was a bit strange.
I felt it by the end, not in the beginning.
And the
But
ball,
I felt,
for example,
Mhm.
like she was this privileged girl who wanted them to go and couldn't understand what they felt. And I was like,
And I already knew that she would not get it because she doesn't understand the struggle. And the thing is, she could have been a white gal, rich, I don't know, and still try to understand her friends, but she never did. She never tried.
this was infuriating for me. I don't know. I don't think that after hanging with them for so long and seeing everything that happens to them and the inequalities that she would just not understand. She even called Victory, I don't know, Vic. She called her a bitch once.
Yeah.
And like she was, because like so many times she wanted to say like because she was a Negro or whatever, she wanted to say that. Or because she was black, whatever. I don't remember what were the words that she used. And I don't know, it felt so weird that she was always hanging out with them and then she made these distinctions still. Then she wouldn't understand and see their struggle, even though they told her sometimes, or things would happen. And then at the end, when they actually talked about it, she was like so surprised. And they were like, yeah, obviously you wouldn't understand. This felt very strange to me. You know what I mean? I don't know if
I don't know if you remember a sentence that Robin said. He didn't say it, he thought. By the end of the scene where they're talking to Letty about Hermes, I don't know. Hermes. About how they were there and why they joined, etc. And then she was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And she started crying. And then he looked at Victoire and they kind of had an intertalk of being unfair, that she's the one that has to be, that she needs to be the one to be hugged, etc.
She's the one crying.
Yeah.
After hearing their struggles, she's crying not because of them, because of herself, you know? Yeah.
There were many things that for me didn't make sense in this book.
I mean, I think they make sense. She being part of the group is like a plot twist in itself, I guess, because she's the one who betrays them, you know? So her,
I know.
she's
But I saw that
detestable,
coming.
yeah?
Didn't you see that
Yeah,
coming?
I saw that coming. When she left, I was like, okay, you're all gonna die. That's the first thing I thought. Her bitterness, let's say like that, always comes from not belonging anywhere, because she's in Babel and the rich kids from the other faculties don't want to hang out with her because she's a woman and she's in Babel. And then our friends hang out with her, but she's not really
Part of their
Group.
yeah.
Their
yeah,
crew.
exactly. So she basically doesn't fit anywhere.
I agree.
She tried so hard to fit with the three of them, but she could never get them. And maybe the people that she would get don't want her because she's a woman.
And the irony in all of this is that Robin can see all the inequalities that people go through due to race, but he doesn't really see the inequalities of women. When he killed the professor, he didn't think about the consequences that had for Mrs. I don't know her name.
Yeah.
Their maid,
Their-
the one that
Isn't-
lived with him for all of those years.
Yes, he didn't think about the consequences that had for the maid. He didn't think about the consequences it had for his wife. He didn't think about, I don't know. So there were several times that he saw what happened to women and he didn't react. He was just passively watching, even though he was so mad about everything else.
Didn't he react when they were being...
He reacted once, and it was at the ball.
I think so, yeah.
Because the guys were being disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
He reacted, but it could have been because you're hurting my friends.
Okay.
Not because of gender inequality.
Yeah. If it were other women, he would probably not do it.
Yes.
I get it.
And one more thing that I have to add to this is homosexuality. Right in the beginning, you, at least this is how I understood, you are shown that Robin falls in love with Rami, I don't know, because of the way he looks at him with the sunset, and like immediately like he loves him.
I think we all thought it was gonna
I
be
didn't think that.
No, I did.
But for me it was like, oh, he's falling in love.
Yeah.
And then throughout the story you kind of get a little bit like, oh, Letty, she loved him like I loved him. Or like you get little bits of this information, like confirming this suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, he's suffering so much from his death and everything. But you never get any type of conflict in his head from liking him or loving him, and the struggle or having to go through that, because that's something that was not accepted at the time. It was never mentioned. I don't know. It felt so weird to me. This is why I think the characters sometimes were not very in-depth. I don't know. It was strange.
There were a lot of things that were not explained, even also because of his father, of the fact that Louvel is his father. I wanted to understand how, first thing. Like, so what, he went to Canton and impregnated his mother?
And another.
Yeah, and Griffin's mother.
Yeah.
So... I don't know. I was like, what? And
probably
he never.
Others.
And he actually did. He confirm. He never confirmed. He did. My son, right? He said
he did. He did confirm when they were having the fight, I guess. It's where he says something like, "I thought my offspring."
Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah, I thought that bit was weird because I never understood like the logistics behind it. Maybe I was not meant to, but you know.
Yeah, I get it.
Because, sorry, going back to what you said, Trisha, I didn't actually think they had love between each other. Love, like, I always thought it was like
Best
friendship
friends.
love. Yeah.
Like besties.
Yes. I never thought of,
It
I don't
was
know,
never
because maybe
confirmed.
there wasn't this very obvious conflict, or I don't know, but for me, I just thought if it was the first friend he ever had in his life. So, like, maybe his attachment to him was stronger than with Victoire, for example.
Could be, because it was never confirmed.
Yeah. But I also got the feeling that he was falling in love with him.
The way it talks about him is very...
Yeah. For me, the most like romantic part was before they start their classes and they had these picnics and
Yeah.
It was kind of romantic, I don't know.
Like at the very end, when he's about to die, spoiler, and he thinks back to that time when he was with Rami.
Yes.
Okay. You're dying and you're thinking about him. I mean, I wonder why. And for me, the point was when he said she loved him like I loved him. She cried on his shoulder, saying that why doesn't he give me attention? And he's confirming like I loved him that way. I loved him even more.
Different types of love. I mean, that's what I thought. Yeah, I don't know. But I actually never thought that Letty really loved him, so...
That's true. That's true.
So the way I thought... I don't know.
I also never got a love from her
Right?
to him,
Yeah.
I think she did, but she was conflicted because he was a brown-skinned man.
Can also be true. And they were always fighting. Like, in the beginning I thought, okay, maybe they like each other, but I never felt that Rami actually liked her.
But there's a conversation where I thought that Rami was going to say that he liked Robin because they were talking about Letty, and he asked something like, "Why don't you love her?" or something, and Rami said, "You really don't know." And then something happened and they stopped talking.
Okay, see, like different perspectives.
Yeah.
When I read this, I just thought that he meant like, don't you really understand that I could never love her because she's the way she is and she never really gets me.
That's true.
So that's what I understood.